Gosh, I don't have a microphone connected. Oh. Mhm. Sorry about that. And a special name. Sure.
What did you say?
Can you hear me?
Well, barely. And you're all fuzzy.
I'm fuzzy too. Sure.
There, it's better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
I sat down and my microphone was in another room. So I fetched it, so you should be able to hear me now. And
Okay.
it is Thursday, right? It is 7. Okay. It's funny. I was just X'd out of it. Funny. I was just typing up an email to send to everyone to remind them to come, and now I realize why I was doing that. So interesting. Did it get in my drafts? Yes, it did. Okay. I'm gonna send it and say we're live. All right. Wow. Okay. All right. We need to start out today by clearing the energy around you. So that's hilarious. So let's start it out and say we now clear all interference in on and around us. We allow ourselves to connect to the divine light, the ultimate divine light source in all ways to 100% to the highest potentiality that we have now. Oh, there we go. Okay. We now release all energy trying to connect with us, and we clear and correct all energy that is not in alignment with our true path forward in the higher divine light that we have been cultivating within ourselves. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This has been a lot of back and forth energy today. And the main thing that's been going on around town is people feeling like they really have to do things. And I wasn't one of those people. But in general, that's kind of the energy. And for those that are taking the time to find themselves in a grounded and centered place, then they're finding the navigation of these energies to be a smaller task than others who perhaps are not. And so it's really, really, really going to continue to be hard for anyone who is not truly in alignment with themselves or trying their best to be all the time to be at a state of grace within themselves. And so the energy that's been coming up for a while now is forcing people, oh good, to join the crowd of those working towards love and light. And what we really mean when we say that, because I think that word gets used arbitrarily. Um, but I think I have to find it, but I will take time to do that here again as well. And it really means that you are believing in your own divine highest potentiality and that of others as well, for yourself and for others around you. and that you are by and far trying to be feeling good all the time, that you are conscious of the reality that you're creating around yourself and being mindful to put out only that which you wish to sow. And so that's what I mean when I talk about working in love. It's believing in the highest potentiality, first and foremost, for yourself, and then also for the collective overall. So we just want to lay that down as the groundwork. Okay. So thank you all, thank you all, thank you all for being here today. And for allowing us to do that cleanse and reset for you as well, because it's working more and more in everyone's favor to ensure that you take time every day to be in alignment. Like, it's the very most important thing that you do. It is more important for your health right now in your 3D body than anything else you are doing aside from, well, making sure that you are safe and that your body and daily tasks are cared for. That really, the taking the time to ensure you're in alignment outside of your daily care of maintenance of I am safe and I am able to be alive and well, that it's really the most important thing going on out there for the well-being of the collective. So I simply ask for everyone here as well to take a moment and to notice where you may have been creating things and creating atmospheres, and how it is that you were really, I feel the need to take my hair down. Okay. How it is that you were really creating your reality. I understand why they did that now. I've gotten so used to just pulling my hair back. It's still damp because I do that, but I really prefer when my hair has a little more body to it, and it will if I just allow it to dry naturally. So they were using that as simply what you feel like is the most empowering thing for you to do right now. And I want to share that right now, the energy that is emerging is a deep purge of the set points that we were in at a very cellular level of our bodies for the last year or so. So, however it is that you had been moving around, the energy cycles and the choices that you were aligned with, you're going to see that the letting go of those deeper cycles within yourself is going to be happening and readjusting um, the energies that you're in to allow your cells to recycle, refresh, realign, and come into a greater state within your physical body itself. So, this transmission, we want to talk about all of the different types of healing that have been really going on at a very cellular level for our group, especially. And it really has to do with where we have been able to take ourselves and share with you. And it is a matter of the pencil that you were drawing with and how it was that you were sketching out your reality in a day-to-day basis. Were you really taking the time to ensure that everything that you were doing really made sense for what it was that you ultimately wanted in the end. And so it's really understanding that what we were doing was correcting the energies and the belief systems that were out there. Because once you have the foundation of the belief systems that this is an interesting thing that's happening, I feel like, more than usual, but that's okay. That when you have a strong foundation, when you have belief systems that make sense and you're willing and ready to release any belief systems that come up that no longer make sense to you, where you can acknowledge them or the energy that was there within them, even if it, to be fair, wasn't one that you were actively cultivating, if it had ever been a thought that you continued to focus on, it is a need to release that at a very cellular level, because that's what a belief system is something that you were cultivating within yourself for something that you continue to build upon in your thought structures. And so the more that you allow for a release and a restructuring of beliefs that really make more sense to you, the more that all these other things can come into play. So they want me to share that a more direct source is going to be channeled here than no. Okay, it's the Angel Collective. Whoa. Okay. The main message here is that the frequency shifts have been made within your ability to move your beliefs along the main line. So you are able to differentiate between a belief that makes sense and one that doesn't. Because you're able to differentiate as they come up, allow yourself to make sure you let them go. And that you allow yourself to constantly see these, recognize them within others, to allow you to see where your belief systems may need fine-tuning as well. There may be other things, as my maid was continuing to help me yesterday, that I was recognizing what he was reflecting back to me. It was absolutely fantastic. That it was a belief system that he had, that everything he would respond was, well, it was like, I'm like, yes, I'm just purging stuff, and, I really can't see how I need it anymore. I released to him my Christmas tree and all of the ornaments that I'd been collecting over the last 25 years. And it was a big step for me, and it felt really good. And I explained to him, he was like, well, that stuff made you feel good at one time. I was like, so he would respond in the most positive way. And I'm like, I appreciate what you're saying. I don't know that I want that belief, and I don't even know that it's true. It certainly was stuff that I had for a really long time, and it was a very big purge for me. A very large section of under the stair energy has been released, and they were even some just in the basement. So it felt really nice to just let it go. And I shared with him why. They're perfectly functioning. There is a part of the tree, but they're perfectly functioning lights. They're absolutely wonderful ornaments. I cultivated them with love, and they were absolutely fantastic. I just no longer feel like celebrating a life of a being that achieved Christ-level consciousness with a tree with light bulbs, and they were all white. And there was lots of gold too. It's an absolutely fabulous tree. Like, if I wanted to just put up a tree, that would be a great idea, but I didn't. And so I explained it to him, and then I let him have it, and they said that really probably was the best way to go about getting rid of something like that and helping him to slowly shift his consciousness as well, because he was completely open to it. But what I realized is he was saying things in the most absolutely positive way possible. So I really recognized that within myself, and I appreciated it that he was reflecting that back to me. I was just kind of sitting there staring at what I had created in a wonderful way. So sometimes it may be showing that what you have created is wonderful, um, and that you are also having a very strong foundation upon which to build, and that others are reflecting back to you and able to see changes within themselves. So once you have the foundation, the ability to shift the midline on your beliefs becomes easier. So it was interesting how I shared my beliefs, and that this was just simply mine, and I did actually encourage him to take this, but that it would, with the understanding of what it was that I truly believed. And the more that you're able to do that, to shift your beliefs as well, then the other things are letting go of everything that was ever part of the energy of your physical body, as well as what we call that, when what happens is when you're creating the energy, it is out there. It is simply how, when the energy is created, and you can add pieces, right? It's like creating your own vision board. I call it dreamscaping your reality. It's who do you want there? What do you want there? Where do you want the stage to be? Who are the characters? What are they doing? How do you enjoy your lifescape there? And so as you are creating it, right, the energies are out there in the atmosphere. And it is simply a matter of, when the energy is completed, when it is a full energy form, it is a matter of you simply aligning to the frequency of it so that you can witness it in energetic 3D form. And we said that on purpose that way. And so when you can come into contact with it in a 3D reality, then you are experiencing energies that are not only actualized, which is what we would call complete, or but that you have it in the 3D. When you have the 3D energies that you can witness and feel and touch, those are what we call crystallized energies as well. When you experience that in your physical body is what we call a crystallized energy, actually anything. So even the pen, there's one on my desk, would be crystallized energy. And so what we're doing now is aligning you. First and foremost, it is allow yourself to be dreamscaping the life that you desire, to be co-creating with the forms of energy that you wish to experience in your physical life, right? And how it is, the people that you wish to encounter, the things that you wish to encounter, the places, the experiences, all of those things, so that as you are creating the energies you want to experience, it's simply a matter of you following your highest joy, what seems like the most fun, or your highest excitement, so that you can align with the things that you wanted, that you created. So a lot of our work is manufacturing a better form of creation in the energy form that is actualizing and coming into form in the 3D reality, and then helping you to understand what feels like good energy and what doesn't. And to clean up those energies is when we say we clear and correct all works of art to 100% in all ways. And then we clear and correct all energies working against us completely, because we want to understand the energies that we've been working in and what it is that we're creating. So this, as we channel the angelic realm again, it is simply an understanding that I am able to explain some of this at a very deep level, because I have learned it piece by piece in a way that makes sense in my life. And I have seen the words that I speak manufacture results in the 3D world relatively quickly. And I have witnessed with each of you that happening as well. And so when you have seen that and you witness it in your life, and especially when two beings come together and your energy is working together, you're co-creating at an even greater rate. And so it's to be mindful of what we say here as a collective as well, because what we're doing is creating a dreamscape reality where everyone is in alignment with the ultimate divine source and of believing in the potential of themselves and others. So the moment that you change the pace at which you're walking, the way it is that you're walking towards an energy that you desire, and you decide to go at more than a crawl, then the energy of Earth is going to speed up. And that is true for each of you here as well. So that's important for you to know, that the more that you just start recognizing, because that is the frequency that we're releasing the elements of time and allowing you to more and more come into the understanding that it is how it is that you're aligning with each frame of energy, with each choice that you make of what feels good or what doesn't, that you align to a deeper and deeper pattern within yourself of doing things that just feel fun, feel right, and feel good. So if it feels good, the way that you're moving and the way that you're eating, sometimes you may be pulled to just do that same thing. But what I was given in an earlier transmission today is if you want to have a higher frequency energy psychic experience, then manufacture a better psychic process for yourself. And that is what we had been doing. If you want to have a brighter, different future, it is taking actions that are inspired in the 3D world in a way that also aligns with more wonderful things that you can do. So it may be everything that I'm doing or that I did today, which included my red light therapy, my the 6-minute video, my Kriya, neck stretches, some cleaning, and making pesto for my dinner. All of that felt really good. If I want to manufacture something beyond that which it is that I'm doing that already feels really wonderful, that's what we call a jump. Right? And it means if I wanted to have a better co-creative experience, I have experienced it where they come and knock at my door, and that's fantastic. But you can also choose to say what feels like a really good place to go today. And it may be that you go to a store that isn't one that you normally go to, or that isn't your favorite. I actually got that going to Walmart may be a wonderful experience. And it could be because there's other things that you wanted to accomplish or do, or it's the next step in the physical process. It could be to meet someone. It's just what feels good. Do I need to know anything more about it? Then they said I need in my organizing frequency now, it is I need more organizational tools, like tubs and shelves. So anyway, I can ask for clarifying. Is there anything else I needed to know about it? Not really. They could have told me when I got there, but that's what I'm talking about. And so it is, if you want to have a greater physical experience, tune into what else could I do in the 3D that would allow me to have a greater jump. And so we wanted you to have that awareness as well for things that you can do for yourself. The same would be true for your health. If you feel like you have been doing really well in your health, then is there something else? Right? So today I focused more on cleaning because there was a lot of movement that happened yesterday than I did on movement today. So she just said movement would be something that I could do that would further facilitate health. And I could still do that. The day is, I don't know that we would call it young, but the day still has time left. And so you can take time to feel into every aspect and say, whatever aspect as an overall, you could say, or you could feel into an individual aspect as well. Whatever one makes sense for you to say. Most of the time it would be probably for you, what is the next jump that would be most powerful for me right now, right? And to figure out what that jump is, and the easiest way for you to make the jump. So I find this interesting. As I was doing that in general, I just realized in my cleaning efforts that the anyway, my laptop needs to be plugged in so that it can charge. So that's how it works, right? It's when I was feeling into specific aspects, there were specific things. And when I said generally, it was, yeah, you could just like plug your laptop in so the meeting continues. That'd be good, right? And so that would be kind of a high priority. There was 25% left now. So I don't know how that translates to time. We probably would have been fine. But it usually is plugged in. So yeah, that's generally what we wanted to ensure that was conveyed today. And so it's understanding the foundation. Because once you have the foundation, then you can build out the aspects that make sense and decide what jumps make sense for you, or what are fun for you. And you can design your reality however you truly desire, because right now you have a pretty strong foundation within your path as far as knowing what it is that you're creating and being aware of your co-creative aspects and how you can come into letting go of things and the processes that we've given you. So we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because this level of spiritual intelligence, we're just going to say it, is rare. And the understanding of it at this very deep level is what allows us to ground into the earth a greater level of understanding for others to line up with as well. You will continue to see the disparity build out between those that are understanding the co-creative process and those that are having a rude awakening to life and the immediate changes that are needed in order to sustain being able to thrive in an environment where so many are shifting into a more positive aspect. And that is the divide. That is the shift energy. They're showing me my card of disconnection, and there's a valley with two people standing on either side. And it's really, are you choosing to maintain your frequency and that above all else in your life? Absolutely. That's the foundation. The next part is, how do you build out the jumps? And it is very hard for those that haven't understood at a very fundamental level what it is that they're creating, how it is that they're feeling, why it is that they're living in a certain way, or that the food that they're eating is no longer literally going to taste the same way to their soul that it used to, because those things are important as we grow in collective consciousness for us to maintain a higher frequency, because it has to do, number one, with the frequency of food that we're eating, and number two, with caring about the path that our food had to us. So it's less about what it is, whether it be a meat product, a dairy product, or a fruit, but more, how did it get there? When you feel into it, does it feel like a good thing to eat? And so remember, it's about the food that you eat, what you wear, what you think, what you put on your face, anything that you buy, right, Nicole? It's like, does that actually feel good? Does the energy that was used, does the path that was created, in the works of art that were out there? Was that all a path that felt good? Or would it be better to not be part of that energy sequence path at all? So when I talk about the clothes that you wear, it is what they're made of, but it's also how do they feel when you put them on? And have you made peace with that? Or can you? Right? You can go through a forgiveness process with your clothes. I have done that as well. And many other, yes, I could have done that with the Christmas tree. It really was a matter of like, I went through the process of, okay, do I really want to have this just in my home to put up anymore? And I got a no. And I was like, okay, if that's the case, I probably can let it go. And it was a jump for me. It was the tree I could part with, I will just be honest. It was the 25 years of accumulating ornaments that were absolutely, they're pastel, like pink and blue and purple and green, and then gold was the accessory. So I had gold beads as garland and gold angel wings all over the tree and gold bows that I tied all over it. I was in love with it when I did it, but it was like, what do I need the ornaments for if I'm not going to do a tree? So I let go of it. And I share that simply because it was a jump for that reason. So I shared how I created it in my mind. I actually looked for a picture of it. I couldn't find it in the purging of things that I've done. It was kind of hilarious. I'm sure that it exists somewhere, but I simply share that because it literally no longer makes sense. It's just taking up space. This was, I mean, that's a fair amount for a large or regular size, medium sized Christmas tree and boxes of ornaments and the stuff that go along with it. That's a significant amount of stuff. And so it felt good to let go of it. It was weird, honestly. Um, Probably because it was a jump for me as well. But I simply share that because I was able to get it done. And there are things like that for you. You can allow that as well. The other thing the angels want to say is the blessings that come when you make a shift like that are fundamental. Meaning that when you let go of things that you shouldn't be holding on to anymore, it's literally they're showing me the Four of Pentacles card. Right? That's what the Christmas tree, not the Christmas tree. I was willing to throw that out in the trash. It was the ornaments. I'm like, I know you kind of want to see a picture of the tree, don't you? Um, it was me, the letting go of that was a huge jump for me. And so, it was special to let it go to someone who didn't have a tree as well and that I knew would actually appreciate it. So I am thankful for that. And that was it. So allow yourself to make those jumps. Be thankful for what it is that you know and understand, because when you let go of those things, when you let go of the Four of Pentacles, you see the Ace of Wands, which is forward movement in some area of your life, right? And honestly, these are not major arcana. These are not major life lessons. I already know. I have a complete belief system around it. I already understand it, right? I had already made the choice. It had been 2 or 3 years since I put the tree up. So it really was just a matter of letting go of those things so I could see a forward movement in my life and feel better about it. And as I purge these things, I can feel my home feeling better for me and lighter. Okay. And it's changing the way that I am moving as well. And what it means is I'm not staying in the cycle, which was a very high level cycle achieved, but moving more quickly now in how it is that I'm aligning to other energy cycles. So I simply share that because that's some of what I think is also going on in this video. Yeah, that. I mean, it does it sometimes, but I feel like we have a new a new interesting thing. So yeah. So what I would say is it is always up to you how you decide to frame out your energy cycle response. That is what we call time, right? Energy cycle response. Energy, how you're aligning to the energy cycles. And so the more that you recognize the choices that you're making, the energy that you're in, and how you can move forward in a greater way, and you actually take the steps to do it, then the energy is done. So the main thing is recognizing the choices that you've made and sticking with them. So she's going to show you the back of her wall. There's nothing. And so I was cleaning everything, and the camera does seem at a slightly different angle too, doesn't it? Because I don't think, well, I don't know if you usually see the cabinet or if it's just that there's so much stuff there that you wouldn't know the difference. But what I want to say is they said now you took the picture down off the wall. You've had that picture for a while. It's like a picture of an amethyst. And I thought I loved it. And they said, could you, although it is wonderful, and I have art all over my home, there's flowers a lot, a couple of, several flower paintings is what the majority of them are, a mirror, and then the crystal picture, right? And then the basement where you see the background, and a couple others. But what I will say is, they said, do you really love them anymore? Or could you get something that says Rochelle even more? They said, you don't need to put those back up on the wall. I was like, whoa, sure, sure. Another set of things that I have been accumulating over, I don't even know how long, right? And so, this auto framing is not on. So, what is this? Okay. Anyway, I know it's very different to look at that background, isn't it? So even my tarot cards, those won't go back, but so yeah, I simply share this so you can kind of see what they were getting at is once you clear and you give yourself a foundation, are you being mindful of what it is that you're building out? So you would think that would be automatic, that I would think before. I did think about the cabinet has been painted that color for a really long time. So I think it's time for a color change as well. So it's those sorts of things. Are you taking time to adjust for some of these things? So I really do prefer this background. I just prefer to look at it. Okay. So that's what we wanted to share. So the main thing is recognizing, to be fair, at every aspect, are you just doing the things that you were always doing, or is it time now to leave space to look at a different way of viewing things? The flower pictures that I have are canvas art pictures that were made actually by an artist as well. So I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, I guess I could get rid of those as well. Um, but they want me to be mindful of what I'm putting up because that is energy that I'm hanging on my walls, right? I take time. If you look at the home clearing video, clearing the walls and the ceiling and the floors is actually part of it. On the wall in my bedroom, I have the Reiki symbols hanging up and other symbols as well, but I think you've seen that, right? That makes sense to me. Those are symbols that I intentionally had there. I know what they mean and have worked with them and consider them friends. The art is just kind of art that I thought was pretty at one time. And I think people probably would still think that, but it doesn't necessarily make sense for me anymore. They said you could print up your one of your cards. Um, they said the love of God card, for example. How would you love to have that on your wall? They said that would be by far and wide a way better choice than your flower art that somebody else made. Like this says you and your energy all over it. Like, can we make that choice? And I think I can modify it and the size to print it for my wall. So I simply shared that as an example of taking time to make sure that the choices, the other one they showed me was the now card. That would be a very pretty one, as well. But having that love of God picture to look at, um, every day, I think would be an amazing choice. And one that aligns with also who I am. So the main thing here is understanding the energy of resistance because I didn't have any resistance to these flowers. I made peace with them. They are they're pretty. They have lines through them, so they're a little bit um odd, but probably shows the energy I was in at the time. But in general, I like the look of them and they're large enough and they go with my home. And they said, well, maybe we need to look at that then, right? So the message here is how are you? These are the other two cards. They said, wouldn't you rather have something like this to look at than the flower picture? When you look at that, what would be the energy that you receive or the inspiration that you receive over something else, right? And so it's simply an understanding of how are you taking the time every day for some of these choices that you made a long time ago? Do they still make sense? So when we talk about where you're living, how you're living, the things that are around you, are they still things that you like and are they reflecting energy that makes sense for you? Okay. So we want to say the divine guidance here is be ready and willing to take the next step for wherever it is that you are. It may not be changing the art in your home. It may be. It may be looking at the yard of your clothes for the first time. It may be looking at your yard and saying, is what I'm doing here making sense? It may be looking at the way your yard is cared for and saying, does this make sense? It may be looking at, are you growing any of your food in any way, indoors or outdoors? When you can grow a few herbs inside to get started. Are you taking time to say, is there anything that feels like something that I could do that would make sense for me now? So those are just a few examples of jumps that you can make in ways that are pretty natural and easy and change the way that you're moving. We talk about moving, it is how are you cycling through the cycles of energy? And it really is you're creating your own reality every moment of every day. When you're living in the same things and you're looking at the same things, you're creating the same things. When you change it up, you create differently. And that's why they encouraged me to change my imagery on my walls to something more like this. Because this is, if I was looking at the energy of this picture every day, I feel like the energy of my home would be better. And it's pretty awesome and inspiring and uplifting and all of those things. So I know I will. So I just wanted to share that with you. I think I will make it available like as a canvas or something. I think there's a couple eco-friendly options that I can put on the website, but um, it would also be a good one to hang, a better one to hang behind the wall. So that's what they're talking about when we talk about how are you moving. It's how are you moving through the energy cycles, but the stuff that's already crystallized when we talked about it, what's already in your body, what's already in your home, right? And how can you start to move that in a different way? You know that things shift in your body when you start moving, right? Well, the same thing is true if you replace the art on your walls. Okay. Oh, they said we'll do some cards now. We're going to use those cards in this particular order. So it is, if you wish to, and you wish to achieve the ultimate fulfillment in your energy ability at this time, allow yourself to receive these transmissions in whatever way you can now, at the highest potentiality that you can now. Be willing and able to receive the guidance that you're able to align with at every single moment in time and do what feels right for you. Receive the messages, be willing to receive them, and then be willing to version of yourself at every single moment in time. Because if you want to be the version of yourself, if this is what it is that you truly desire, then now is the time to listen to the guidance and to make the necessary changes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Vanessa, how long have you been here? Okay. I just a little bit. Okay. It's in my full deep channeling. So we have a new soul joining us today. So we're going to say we allow the greatest and ultimate love and light transmission. We allow ourselves to align to the highest potentiality that we can in this moment, this day, now and forevermore. We allow ourselves to come into alignment with the highest potentiality of divine light in all aspects of ourselves and all ways to 100% now, letting go of all of the aspects of ourselves that no longer make sense and our new version of our reality now. All right, so you got the end of that. Is there anything that anyone, oh, that was you, no wonder. Is there any questions that you guys have or anything that you want to share today?
I just want to say, because it's very interesting. When you were talking about the Christmas
Are you
tree, so
talking, Jess?
before, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me?
I see you unmuted. Jess, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
How about now?
I wish to hear you if you are talking.
Can you hear me now?
That felt better.
Can you hear me now?
Jessica, I
You can hear her? Oh God, so that's a me thing? Great. Wonder. Oh, it's coming through my microphone. No wonder. I'm sorry. Okay, so
Okay.
now.
Can you hear me now?
can hear you now. I was like,
Yay!
all I can say is you're unmuted. Okay, sorry, Jess. Can you say that all again?
Sure. So I'm just going to share because it's very interesting. Um, so before when you were talking about the Christmas tree, so before you're talking about your canvases and the images, I was just, looking at you and looking at my picture on the side, my image profile, and I was like, ah, I don't want that. I don't want
Love it.
that. So when you look it up into something that feels more aligned to my moment, and then you started, going through changing the images, and so I was just like, that feels so perfectly aligned. And I saw the painting of this butterfly, and it felt really good. And very interestingly too, during our group sessions, I allow myself to do whatever I need to do. My hand went into a position that looked like a butterfly. So I was like, somehow it feels connected. It feels, I enjoy it for today, for now, and I'm happy with that. So I just thought that it was interesting. I just wanted to share that bit.
I love that. That is so fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. Jessica, Nicole, Gary. Okay. So funny. Is there anything else out there that anyone has a question about or wants to share today?
I was just going to welcome Vanessa to the group. I don't know if I see her anymore in here, but
You know, guys, this is funny and I'm gonna share this and I want you to be completely okay with it. Um, Vanessa is at work and she is on the West Coast. And so she joined for when she could. And this is why originally the meetings were at 8 p.m., I think, instead of 7 as well. Although if she was just leaving now, I don't know if that works. So she left a message. She said she had to leave, but that she would try and make time. So it's just been in the last couple days that she decided she was going to join so that she could be here longer. So thank you for welcoming her. I will pass that message along because she wanted to find and will be thankful for the spiritual family that she has found here. So thank you for that. She's one I've been working with off and on for a while, and she realigned with that. Oh, all right. So the energy that I just pulled in tarot is the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Justice card. So one major arcana, the major arcana being the Justice card. And it is a review of all the stuff from the past. How is it that you have been moving? What is it that you have been accumulating? And ultimately, the foundations that you have been creating through your own thoughts. How have you been creating your world? How is that manifested in the 3D world? And how can you unearth some of those deep-seated things where I'm like, Christmas trees and the actual art on my walls. So it's a need to review these past actions that have happened in order to make positive movements in your life. So the Seven of Pentacles is earth energy. It is your past actions. What is it that you were doing and thinking and creating in the past that you can start to reevaluate now in order to have better movement forward in the future. So the Four of Wands is moving towards building a greater foundation together, right? So this is the situation, the transition energy, and the outcome. So if you want to have a greater foundation, then you need to be speaking your mind and your truth and really creating the world that you want. So it's a matter of what was I doing and how can I start to look at those things differently? And I'm like, I get it, those things make sense. And I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'm like, do I just give it away? Do I just throw it away? What do I do with everything? So anyway, that's why I shared the wall behind me literally is right now blank while I work through, and the purple one may show up there for a moment, and I don't really mind it anymore. The thought of just having a blank wall. Well, where did I get the idea that I needed to have something on my wall? It probably when I was sharing, I think I shared this with Jess in our conversation this week, like that I tend to wear very neutral, plain things now because it feels better, because that feels stable and safe as opposed to something with pattern on it. And I can look at that and go, I would not want that on my body. I'm cognizant of what the words are on the back that are printed on my shirt right now, right? It's kind of gotten to that. It's not really that bad. It says booty, right? But because that's the brand. But what is it that you are in general? And so it's not any different when it comes to the idea of putting something on the wall than it is of having a thought. It's just that we had a thought. That was the energy that we were in, and that was what got created. Does it still make sense now? So I had gone through the wardrobe, and I have not gone through the wardrobe, but I have made changes, and this is what I wear majority of the time, right? But as we unearth these things, just being cognizant of, do these things that I allowed to be part of my physical reality, do they still make sense now? And that is the transition from the Seven of Pentacles to the Justice card, which is the review of energies, generally, to be able to make positive movements in your life. Absolutely fabulous. I love it. Just to drive that point home. All right. Any questions or concerns? Is there something you wanted to share out there? Okay. Vanessa was joining from a public place too, so if you were trying to tune into her energy, that was part of it. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. The question is, would I keep this backdrop? I feel like we have energized this backdrop beyond the point of return. It's kind of like a symbol of movement and flow. I'm not sure we're changing our virtual background right now. Okay. So I reviewed it though, right? So I would encourage you to do the same. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If there's anything else out there, let me know.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Love
Good
you. Good
night.
night. Good night.